Good morning, everybody. The bora is behind us. Who forgot that I had this? Definitely not me. Okay, I did forget that I had this at some point, but there's been a reason why it's been taking so long. There's a reason why this car has took so damn long. It's a combination of things. First things, VW people who are breaking cars are so annoying to deal with. I got sent a power steering line and they cut it in half. I was like, what am I going to do with this? So anyway, I had to wait a week to get refunded for that and wait for replies, and yeah, that happened. Someone cut it in half and sent me a power steering line. Anyway, and then I literally spent 3 weeks messaging people, and like people were just ignoring me or telling me they'd turn up and not turn up, or just saying, yeah, I've got it, and then a week later, you still got that part? Yeah, I've got it, I'll send it. Have you still got that part? Yeah, I'll send it. Never sent it. It's been an absolute nightmare, and it's been another reason why I'm not going to buy another VW, because VW people breaking things are just a nightmare to deal with. Like when you had the S13, you ring up and you go, hi mate, have you got a crank seal sensor? Yeah, I'll send it tomorrow. 3 days later, it turns up in the post. Like, that's how it works. But with these cars, it just doesn't work like that. Combination of True Rally, we obviously went to the Nürburgring. We had a rally to the Nürburgring, so that took up a lot of my planning, and obviously I had to go there and all that. That took up a lot of time with that. And third of all, I just don't like the car. Fourth of all, the Mustang. I'm not going to explain that. It's self-explanatory. The Mustang takes up so much of my time. And yeah, third of all, I just don't really like the car. I don't like working on it. I just don't like it, so I really want to get rid of it. Anyway, it's here. Fifth of all, which is not a bad thing, me being stupid, I left the battery connected and I left my bloody OBD sensor plugged in there. So the battery's like flat as a pancake and my charger's not even charging it. So I think now I need a new battery, which I'm not happy about. But anyway, today, we're going to make some good progress. I've got some few things. I've finally got the power steering line. Let me show you. This is the power steering line. I finally got one. So we need to fit this. And then once we fit this, we can actually put the rest of the engine bay back together, because right now it's just like everything's just hanging out. So let's put this on. I've got some more things to fix as well. Let's just make a start. So this is how it's left. As you see, the battery does go here, but the battery tray's out, all the air boxes out, the intake's out, and that's because that's going to help me fit the power steering line, because it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. It goes underneath the gearbox, but I need to bolt it to the rack down there, and then it comes over here to the actual pump, so it might be a bit of a pain to fit. First of all, as well, whoever told me not to order them cheap coolant temperature sensors, you were correct, because I put it in, it lasted about a day, and then it kept saying coolant temperature sensor fault. I was like, oh, for God's sake. So they're like £3 off eBay. Don't even bother getting one. I ended up just getting one on the same guy who gave me the power of the steering line. I've got an OEM one, so I'm going to quickly replace that, because it's literally just here. So this is an OEM one, it is black, and it comes with the clip as well. So I'm just going to change that, and hopefully that fixes that issue. Hopefully coolant doesn't absolutely piss out. It shouldn't, because I still need to bleed it and stuff. Oh, it does. Okay, never mind. All right, hang on. We're going to do a quick switch. 3, 2, 1, go. Just simply push that in there. That is one of the £3 ones you get from eBay. Personally, I wouldn't bother. Someone did tell me that in the comments, but I ignored them. I learned the hard way. But it was only like £3 anyway. So yeah, hopefully that fixes that. We are going to give the whole thing a jet wash as well, because there's like oil, and obviously when the old gearbox broke, there's oil all over everywhere. So once everything's back together, we're going to give it a nice jet wash. But let's fit this power steering line. Okay, the issue with leaving a car for so long is I can't fully remember where everything goes. But you see down here, that's where one line goes, and I've left the bolt and the washers in there, so I'm smart. Now I'm pretty sure it goes under the gearbox, because a bad thing about taking the gearbox off these is it's really hard to not break that power steering line. It goes under the gearbox, and then it comes around here, and then bolts to the power steering pump, which is down there somewhere. So I might have to jack the car up, which isn't an issue, because we've got a spicy new jack from eBay. Go on, love this jack. Let's jack the car up to make it easy for ourselves, and hopefully this is simple. Okay, so if we come under the car, here is the power steering pump, and this was just screwed in here like this. Oh God, have I not got the washers, mate, honestly. So anyway, so the actual line goes between here like that. So we're going to just loosely bolt it down, just so we know exactly where it's running. And then you've got some kind of brackets here which go somewhere, which I've forgotten, and that goes over to the back of the route, which we're going to loosely bolt in, and then we can see where everything bolts up. Okay, so with a bit of faffing around and looking back at my original video, this is how the power steering line goes. I was a bit confused because there was no bolt, obviously for this to go through. Like there was no screw or anything, like there was no thread. But I found inside one of these little metal clips which obviously just sits over and creates a thread. So that was good, and I was like, okay, cool. This obviously goes on there, and that's all bolted down now. My only issue is, I thought I kept the washers. Turns out I only kept 1 of 4. I don't know where the other 3 are, they've disappeared. So I've been hoping and praying that some of the washers that I've got here will work. Praying, but it's a bit of a weird size. It's quite thick, so let's see. But I don't know if this is good or this is just the world teasing me. I looked inside the car and I found 2 of them, so we've got 3. Now I have a vague memory of dropping one on the subframe, not being able to find it, and it rained, and I was like, fuck, I'll just remember next time. I'm pretty sure that happened, so I'm gonna put these 2, because obviously they're a bit bigger, on them ones, and I'm pretty sure I dropped one of the washers on the subframe. I'm praying that I did, because otherwise I'm gonna have to go to a hardware shop. They'll have one, but it's a long way to go for like a fucking 3p washer, do you know what I mean? It's our day, guys. I just took the wheel off and it's I'm literally not even joking, like I've not even planted that. Nothing ever goes my way. What is going on? Thank you, Bora. Oh my god, what the hell? This is the first time anything ever has gone my way in my entire life. Okay, the power steering line is on, it's all tight, I'm all happy. So we're gonna put the wheel back on, get it on the floor, get the car level, and then we can start topping it up. And then bleeding the power steering as well, so we need to bleed the coolant now. We've changed that as well, so we can do that at the same time. I have got some power steering fluid just literally here in my bag, but there's not much. Power steering line is on. Just top, oh fucking hell, just top up the power steering fluid now. I'm gonna put it to max, then we can start bleeding it. So we need to bleed the coolant. So let's see where that sits now. That's on min, so put a little bit more in, and then we'll start bleeding it. Now to bleed it, it's very similar to just bleeding coolant. So all you got to do is just, well, it's actually not, it's not similar at all to bleeding coolant. All you got to do is just keep the cap off, and just keep turning it, the wheel left to right, and what you'll see is that'll just keep pushing, that'll push all the bubbles out. So it might be hard at first. Take this off, so you need to bleed the coolant. Fucking hell, mate. Right, let's fire her up, and you can hear that baby. But this is the, well, I have started it just to get it over here. And it wasn't epic. It's not been running about 5 months, but should be sweet. Should be sweet. So you can actually see the air bubbles coming out there. See, one just popped. See, they keep popping. So keep running it. All the air will come out. I'm excited to start a fire up. Oh shit, we've not got battery. Oh, we've not got fucking battery. The battery is here, but even my charger. So, well, watch what happens to the charger. I'll try it again, low voltage. Well, no shit, that's why it's on a fucking charger, you dick. So what it's doing is, it goes up volts, and then it says it's full, and then it drops. I'll watch the volts drop in 7, and it'll just keep dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. So it's not holding the voltage. C5, and in a minute it just goes battery error. So I'm pretty sure the battery's toast, boys, which I'm fuming about. Just trying to keep bloody costs down. What do you mean? See, look, bat error. I think that means an error code. So I think it's room. Anyway, we're going to buy a new one. What we're going to do, I'm going to buy a new battery, a new one, because I want to get this bloody kind of on the way and gone, to be fair. And then what we'll do is we'll put that battery on like a I don't know, I hate spending money. I might just take it and try and put it on, no, because that won't be able to start today. Fuck it, I'm buying a new battery, like 50 quid from Euro, grow up, like. It's just annoying, just trying to make some money, do you know what I mean? But then we might actually be able to charge that on like a decent charger, and then actually be able to have a spare battery for another VW Bora, which I buy without battery. Okay, so there's literally only one more thing left to do. Everything is back together. I've got a couple of bolts left over, but I'm pretty sure that's from the old power steering line. One thing left to do is just go and buy a battery. So I'm really annoyed that I've got to do this. I might actually take that battery to Halfords and get them to test it. Halfords actually do a free battery test, and that'll test if it just needs charging, if it's ruined and you need a new battery. So I'm going to go and see, I'm going to take that battery to Halfords, get it tested, and then actually see if it's cheaper getting one from Halfords with my trade card or cheaper getting one from Euro Car Parts. Okay, so this was that dead, it wasn't even powering on their tester. So it could just be the case that it's just absolutely flat and needs like a really good snap-on charger or something, but it's not looking good that it's not powering on the thing. It means there's literally nothing in its powering on the little charger tester. So I got this battery. I managed to get it for 50 quid. I said to myself, if I can get it for, it starts with a 4, I'll buy it. It was like £50 and 13 pence. So we've just bought one, send it. It saves me driving to Kieran's, putting it on the charger, waiting a day or two, and then having to come back here and buy one anyway, so. Alright, so we're back home, we've got the new battery here. I just sent it, I'm knackered because I've just carried on across the road. I'm gonna put the battery in, start it up, fire her up, make sure she's running okay. Bleed the coolant, bleed the power steering, see what codes are left to sort out. And don't worry, I am taking track, I have got track of everything that I've spent. It's in a spreadsheet on my laptop. So at the end, we're gonna go over everything that I've spent, what I've sold it for, and what's the profit, and then importantly, what have we got to move, you know, what kind of money have we got to move on with and what we're buying next. So let's get this battery in, fire her up. Is in, everything is in, let's fire her up. That's good news. Right, we ready to fire her up, boys? Airbag fault, we need to fix that. Gosh, she purrs like a beast. So yeah, we have two lights on at the minute. We have the airbag light, and for some reason the brake pad light is coming up, even though that the brake pads are fine. For some reason. What's that? Check brake pads. Yeah, so it thinks the brake pads are low, but they're not. That's the issue. So we need to have a look at the wiring a little bit more, and let's get the oh, we need to put a lot more power steering fluid in. Just keep topping up the power steering fluid and it'll just start pushing out all the bubbles and just keep turning. It's a bit noisy, but it's getting quieter as it bleeds. As it bleeds, it's getting a lot quieter. A minute ago it was like, it's getting a lot quieter now. So just keep turning the wheel, get it pushed through, make sure it's still topped up. Just let that bleed out. But as you can see, it's shutting up nice and quick, so just let that keep bleeding. Air bubbles are still coming out. And this is her idling. Sounds great. She sounds really good, to be honest. So gonna let that bleed up a little bit longer, let the coolant bleed a little bit, try and get it up to temperature a little bit. And then what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to just fix these two things. It'll be the case of just getting a scanner plugged in, seeing where that where the airbag is, seeing what airbag light that is, and that'll be a case of we're getting a resistor or something might be unplugged, or it might just be a dirty connection, something like that. It's probably something simple. And then the brake pad wires, it'll probably just be a sensor that's shorted out, because we did that one side, and if you remember, the wires were cut, not cut, but they've come undone, so it's an open circuit then. So that's probably what's happening. So we're able to easily find out that as well. But let's get in here, let's turn the heaters on, and get ready to bleed it. The good thing is we're getting no coolant temperature sensor warning now as well, which is good. So literally everything on the dash now is obviously just the fuel. We're probably going to run out of fuel soon. The airbag and the brake pad, and everything seems good. She's idling great. Clutch works. I'm happy, I'm happy. Okay, so she be purring. She actually sounds amazing. She idles really well, and she sounds great. She revs great. So I'm just going to let that get up to temperature, let that bleed, let that fully bleed out the coolant, let the power steering fully bleed out. It's fine now. I'm just going to get the last of the bubbles out. I think this is the end of this episode because I've got a really busy day today and I'm actually already running behind schedule. In the next episode, we will 100% have this for sale. We're going to clear those last codes, we're going to give it a clean, and I'm going to show you how to take photographs to make a car sell a lot easier. So that's all going to be happening in the next episode. So until then, I love you all. We're going to be focused on this. We're going to be focused on this episode, on this series a lot more now, because the Mustang's pretty much done and it's fixed to the problems. So that's just going to be the drift car now. Obviously we're going to have some more content, but this is going to be the main series. I need to catch up. So I love you all, and I can't wait to have this for sale in the next episode and go over all the pricing. Love you all. See you in the next one.